this intro real quick. If you're new, you want to subscribe, that'd be amazing. I have a really small channel, and you know, if anyone even sees this, that would be cool, to like give it a thumbs up, and everything, and subscribe. I want to just work on growing my channel right now, so that'd be cool. And yeah, anyways, so I met the ITCast back in 2017, and it was like, there's nothing bad to say. Like, this was such a good experience. One, I think it was really cool just because like pretty much I'm the same age as like the whole cast, like around the same age. Like, you know, like the one guy, Jeremy, that I met who plays Ben, his birthday is literally 3 days like after mine, like exactly. Also a little puppy. But yeah, and I have this yellow trench coat which I wore, and I did post photos back in 2017 on my Instagram, so those are still up. But it was also really cool because like a lot of like fan accounts, like they didn't even edit me out of the photo and like made edits with me in it, which is cool. So yeah, I have photos with them, and then I have autographs. So this one's from Sophia, and then this one's from Wyatt. I have a little boat, but anyways, so I'm just gonna talk about the experience. So yeah, it was right when the first movie had come out, which I'm pretty sure there was a hurricane going on then, Hurricane Irma, and now we have Hurricane Dorian in Florida. So yeah, pretty much I was going up to Halloween Horror Nights was going on in Orlando. I lived like southern Florida, and then I found out they were having this event where they were doing a meetup, and I was like, okay, like I have to go. So I did, and so we went to the event. I got there, I was so nervous, and it's so sad to like look back on that, because like they all like kept telling me like, oh, we're just normal kids, like this, you have nothing to be nervous about. I was so nervous, I was like sweating, like it's really gross. But yeah, I was just getting really like nervous just thinking about, like, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So my mom pushed me to go up into Sophia's line. She had like the shortest line, so I went into her line, and the first thing, so I went up to talk to her, and she was really nice, and I straight up said, I'm nervous, and she was like, you don't have anything to be nervous about, like this, you know, like you don't need to be nervous around me. So we were just talking about the movie stuff, and because I don't remember my conversations in detail, but I remember certain things in detail. Like, also when I was all like freaking out, so nervous, I like in my head I think I made eye contact with Jaden from like across the room, but like eye contact doesn't actually mean anything, it's just normal. But like still, I think that's why I even got even more nervous, because like I was looking around, and I mean I was wearing a bright yellow trench coat in front of the cast, so like I don't know, but I thought I made eye contact, and then I started freaking out even more, I think. But anyways, but yeah, so in Sophia's, like, so she got up to take the photo with me, and it was so funny because I remember this like moment where like, so I'm 5'7", I'm not like really tall, but I would say I'm a little bit above average, and she was a lot shorter, and she just like looked up at me, like looked down, and was like, just like, it was like, I don't think she thought that I noticed that, but like I did kind of notice it, and I just thought it was funny. But yeah, and then so we took our photos together, and I have those photos, and then so after that I went to Sam and Wyatt's line. I was texting one of my friends, I was still like kind of nervous about it, and so I ended up bringing up how like one of my friends wasn't there but like wanted to be, and then he thought that was really cool. Oh yeah, also, so yeah, the autograph is with Sophia's photo, and it just says like, to Kaitlyn, and it, oh my god, I never noticed this, she drew like a little face, and that's probably what I looked like, and it says thank you in her autograph and stuff. And then okay, and then also, so I have Wyatt's autograph on here, and it's just like a photo of them all, and so Okay, so when I was standing in Wyatt's line, I remember just like him like spelling my name and like looking up. And so like I wasn't like, I was walking over and there's someone next to me he was still talking to, and then I was like coming up on the side just like paying for the photo and like the autograph and stuff. And then I was just like, I don't know, I don't want to look up. And then when I did, I remember like looking into his eyes. I don't know, I remember that one moment of his green eyes, and like I probably got even more nervous about that. And so I just remembered that. And then so I told him about my friend wasn't there but wanted to be. He thought that was really cool. And so I remember him like, he was asking us about my name for the autograph and stuff. And then we just started talking, and then we also got photos together. And so like the funny part is like, so whenever I've showed people photos, Sophia always looks awkward in the photo. Because, okay, so what happened was, it was just a photo of me and Wyatt, because you could only individually get a photo of them. And then so Sophia, my mom later explained to me that she came up in the background of people's photos because like no one was at her line. So then she just was like, okay, I'll just go around. And she went in the background of my photo, like standing up next to me. And so like me and Wyatt are just kind of like, and then I accidentally hit Wyatt's mom with this too, which was, I was like, oh my god, I feel bad. But it wasn't like painful. I hope not. But yeah, my mom was even talking to like their moms and stuff, like because their whole families like came and everything. But yeah, so Sophia comes up behind the photo, and we had no idea she was standing there. So she just kind of like looks like awkwardly just there. So if you look at like some of the photos, it looks like really funny. But yeah, and then so we turned around, and me and Wyatt both like saw her, and we were like, oh my god, like I didn't know you were there. And so Wyatt hugs her, which was so like sweet, because like you can just tell that they're all like so close, like they're all such good friends and everything like that. And yeah, and the really cool part about it all was like, one, they pretty much like kept like telling me that like there was nothing to be nervous about, and also like that they kept saying like, oh, we're just friends, like, you know, we're just normal kids. But also when I was talking to them, like us three were talking, they like didn't exclude me at all, like didn't make me feel like I wasn't there. Like they, all three of us were just talking, and I thought that was really cool, because like, you know, they know each other obviously a lot better than I do, and they still made sure I was like in the conversation. It was just cool to talk to them both. And I was asking them if they liked like Florida and stuff, like and then Wyatt says Sophia like doesn't even know where we are, and then I was just like, Orlando, like, and then they thought that was funny. I'm not funny like at all. And they just kind of laughed, and like, and then I don't know, it was just, yeah. And then so after that I went into Jeremy's line, and so we were talking to his family too. Like my mom was asking if like he was homeschooled or what school, and they said Wyatt goes to school. Jeremy said he was homeschooled. And I remember talking to Jeremy, and he was so sweet. And like I remember like saying that like there was this video where like he posted something back then when he was in public and people were talking about the It Cast, and he was like sitting right next to them and they didn't notice him. Like they were talking about the movie with him next to them and they didn't even notice. And I was saying like, oh, if I saw you, like he just laughed about it. He just like was like okay about it. But I said that I was like, oh, I'd probably be too nervous to go up to talk to you, and he was like, no, like I'd want you to talk to me, like that'd be really cool. Like you know, like I like talking to fans and stuff like that. And like, so once again, like they all just made me feel so like comfortable, and like that was really cool. So they were all super sweet. And then after that I went to talk to Jaden. And so the person before me, this like older, my mom kept thinking it was kind of weird how like older men were kind of like, this one older man came in with like a sculpture of like Sophia's face, but she thought it was really cool. But my mom, just like as a mother, was like, what? And like, cause like also like Jaden, like this older man was like talking to him and stuff, but he was doing so like nice and stuff. But like he gave these like whole CDs, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't bring like anything. But I don't know, it doesn't matter. But and then So I was talking to Jaden, and it was funny because like in those kind of moments, like I definitely become a lot more soft-spoken. I know I'm really soft-spoken. Sorry if your volume's up all the way in this video, I don't know, but yeah, so I know I can be really soft-spoken at times. And so I was just like more nervous then, so I was like obviously being a lot quieter. And it was just funny because like he isn't like super loud either. Like even in person, he's not like a super loud person. And so we were talking at like the same exact voice level, and it was just kind of like funny to look back on now and stuff. And so at first he just shook my hand, and it was kind of like one of those moments where I'm like, I'm never washing this hand again. Like, and it was like really warm, and then I was thinking, I'm like, my hand was probably so like clammy because I was nervous. And then and it was, I don't know if I was being awkward or something and just not saying much. I ended up asking questions, but the thing is I didn't know what to say at first, I guess. And so like usually the fans asking questions, but instead he was asking me questions. Like he was like, oh, so like what are you doing for Halloween? Like, are you, you know, you're doing anything? And then so I was just talking about that with him, and like costumes and stuff. And because I dressed up as Georgie for Halloween that year. And anyways, so yeah, that was 2 years ago. That's crazy. It's so cool, the new movie coming out. But yeah, and anyway, so he kept asking me like how I was, and I was just like, good, I guess. How are you? And then oh yeah, and then I think when I said how are you, he didn't even answer. Like he asked me another question after that, which like I don't know, I mean that's not like rude or anything. I just like, he like wanted to know questions about me, like and then he asked me one question like twice. Like he asked me how I was, I think like 2 times, which like, was I being awkward? I hope not. Like and then so I ended up asking him about like what is his favorite thing about like getting to work on these films and stuff. And it was so sweet because he just kind of, he was the last one down, and he just kind of looked down at like everyone else who was sitting, and he was like, it's them, like, getting to work with people and just making such great friendships because of it. And like that was such a moment, like that was so sweet. And like yeah, so it was so like so nice to see how like they're all just really good friends and everything like that. They actually, some more of the cast that like I think instead of Jeremy Chosen came down in Miami, which is even closer to my house, but unfortunately I couldn't go. But also I had already met them, so like it's okay. But yeah, so those were the cast members that I met. I met 4 of them, and that was a really cool experience. So grateful about that. They were the sweetest people ever to me, and just like it was cool because we're all like the same age, and I feel like that made it a cooler experience too. And yeah, so that was great. I was so nervous, but yeah, that was a really good experience. So I don't know, I can't say it enough, but yeah, these are the autographs. It was funny because when I bought this seal from like another person, and my mom, so the guy was like, I'll be back in 1 second, and then he just like bent down and like went under the booth table, and my mom was like, are you going downstairs or something? And like he didn't think it was funny. My mom loves to joke around those moments. But yeah, anyways, cool experience. Yeah, I cannot wait for the next movie. That'll be so cool. It's coming out like literally this Friday, so thought I would just film this, you know. I don't know what to say. It'd be cool if they saw this video, but I like highly doubt that. I don't have like any subscribers, but you know, if anyone wants to subscribe, that'd be great. Anyways, good.